Yo, what is up, folks? Welcome back. Welcome back to Wolf Bitcoin. We were just hanging out. I just left the Trader Talk space that is still going on, but it's been running since this morning. But had to run this stream. So here we are for the daily live Bitcoin and crypto market analysis show that we do here on Wolf Bitcoin, sponsored by Public. Public is now a long running sponsor of not just this show, but of quite a bit of content that comes out of Wolf Bitcoin. But they are a TradFi brokerage with some crypto options as well. But they'll be most familiar if you know some of the TradFi stuff. But yeah, they do have stocks, options, plenty of stuff you can play over there. But what really sets Public apart is they have some agentic tools that they've deployed here on their platform. So look, if you have a TradFi account, but you kind of want to bring it up to speed into the modern age here, the age of intelligence, with some of these AI tools and agentic tools that exist, go check out public.com/wolf. Go create an account. It doesn't cost anything to create an account. Go click around, see what they have there on the platform, and if you like it, you'll be able to take advantage of what they have there. So with that, guys, let's jump into this show today. Quick disclaimer, I almost forgot. Quick disclaimer, nothing that we're going to cover here on this show is to be taken as financial advice. We are just here looking at these charts, the ticker, what the instrument that we're looking at really doesn't matter, because we're going to use the same style of analysis, the same principles of analysis across all of these charts. And ultimately, this is just my opinion. It's my take, my read on these assets, not telling you guys what to do. As always, go consult with a licensed financial advisor when it comes to any of those decisions. But let's jump into it. I see we got Salty already with the repost. What's up, Salty? Good to see you here, man. Hopefully you had a good night. Hopefully you've had a good morning. Let's see here what else we got going on. We've got some other folks jumping on. Yeah, we got some folks coming in. All right, cool. Beautiful. Well, look, we're going to jump into this Bitcoin chart because it's been quite an interesting morning here. We've had a nice little move to the downside. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go over this chart. Let's go over the levels that we've been talking about and looking at here on this show over the last few weeks and months, actually. So nice big sweep to the downside. Really the position we've maintained here, if this is your first time coming into the show and watching, is that until we get a close above that 60K low from February, we're just treating these as liquidity sweeps. We're not really seeing any kind of acceptance. As a matter of fact, you really have to dig in on the lower time frames to start seeing closes or any kind of short-term acceptance below here. For the most part, the 60K level gets swept and then price moves away from it. So not to say that this time can't be different and that we can't head lower. There are definitely some higher time frame charts that just do not look good. This Bitcoin monthly just does not look good. That is a big red monthly candle there. Does not look good. Still 6 days, a little over 6 days remaining on the month. So things can change. A lot can happen in 6 days. But let's keep an eye on that. If we look at the quarterly chart of Bitcoin, quarterly chart, like there is an opportunity here to maybe get a short-term bounce going into this next quarter. Specifically, if this quarter can close within the high and the low of last quarter. So if it can close above last quarter's low, which is that 60K flat on this Binance chart. If we can get that here in the next 6 days and 4 hours to close out Q2, to close out this month, to close out the first half of this year, if we can get a close above 60K in the next 6 days, I do suspect there's probably a little bit of upside first. Even if it does head lower, ultimately, there would be an opportunity to go higher. So I'm keeping an optimistic perspective, an optimistic stance here for BTC. Plenty of reasons to be bearish. Higher time frame trend is still bearish. We are in the middle of a bear market year, if you follow the Bitcoin historical data. So there's plenty of reasons to be looking for downside. I am taking the opportunity to look for just opportunities to trade to the upside, and also searching out what might be different in terms of um, maybe the way this kind of plays out here. So just being open to it, not trying to force anything. I really don't have a strong bias or agenda either way. I don't have a strong leaning either way. I do agree, high time frame. I think there's some very interesting levels to the downside, but I am perfectly okay if this 60K level ends up being something significant that just kind of holds us up for a while. So what's up, Landy? We got Landy in the house. So look, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But again, for me, as long as we're not getting, a daily close, even a 4-hour, if we're not getting a 4-hour close above that last quarter low, I'm not entertaining it as like a long-term move. Not yet. Not yet. I'd rather lean towards this is potential support here that, has bounced already twice. This third time, should I maybe, be leaning into that here and suspect that it could get another bounce? I think there's an argument to be made there. If we look at stablecoin dominance, which is something that we do quite a bit here on the show, stablecoin dominance did have a move back up towards the top of this current volatility range here. Has not taken out the last swing that it put in here at the basically the start of the month. And again, it did sweep that last quarter high. So the high from Feb, it did sweep above that, but it is currently right at it or slightly below it. Let's zoom in a little bit to see if it's right at it or slightly below it. It is coming right back below it right now as we speak. It is coming right back below it as we speak. So again, if we close the day today and stablecoin dominance is sitting here right at that level, again, with no real acceptance above that, right? A failure to close above that. I just I have a hard time being super bulled up here on stablecoins, needing to run significantly higher. Doesn't mean that the next daily candle can't, sweep all of this one more time and then ultimately still close below here. There is that potential as well. But this is a big level on the higher time frame that we definitely need to watch for closes above, and we don't have them. We currently do not have them. So I am watching that as well as this level for BTC. So that's what's on my radar there. Bitcoin and MSTR shorts are printing. Congrats. Hopefully you got a nice short on BTC. They're up here at like 82 or here probably about 66, 67. If you got this one up here in the 90s, congrats if you've been holding a short since up there or even above that. Big congratulations. So yeah, let's zoom in a little bit more here to BTC. What's unfortunate, and you mentioned the shorts, right? And what's unfortunate is that at levels like this, at the bottom of ranges, there's a lot of folks that pile into shorts down here at the lows, man. And it's always, it's sad. It's unfortunate, but it is part of what makes these markets. It is what allows them to be what they are. So yeah, he says short from 82,825. That is killer, man. Congrats on that. Beautiful entry, by the way. But yeah, like right now, again, you get people shorting down here after massive moves down. Hate to see it, but it is what creates opportunity for those of us that understand just basic market structure, right? So and just as if it gets a bounce here, you're going to see people longing above here. You're going to see people longing into this if it manages to go that high. So one of the things we were entertaining is a possibility for a W here. Look, I don't think we can roll this out yet. You're just now kind of getting a double bottom here. If for some reason this does manage to catch a bounce and you do take out this swing here, this high, it will open the door to higher prices. It definitely will. We don't know that yet. It's still a bit early. There's a lot of work to be done on the lower time frames, but this is most definitely an area to be watching if we see a bounce come in here and we start seeing some momentum to the upside. Even above this, even a move above this lower high here as well will be quite interesting. So let's go to that 4-hour. Yeah, either of these will definitely be interesting. This here will definitely be interesting. So let's see. Let's see if the Bulls can show up here. They, again, for the second time, are defending this 60K level after the initial drop in Feb. Let's see if that continues here. On the 4-hour, we are taking out the high of the last 4-hour candle. Let's zoom into the 1 hour here for BTC. Yeah, look, that looks okay right now. Again, you are coming into an area where it's likely to maybe cool off a little bit, come back down, consolidate, and then let's go to the 2 hours, see if there's anything there. Yeah, you still can't rule out that there may be another sweep to the downside. You can't fully rule that out. Cannot, not with current price action, not yet. Yeah, look, nice big move on the 15-minute. This will probably get filled at some point, even if this continues chopping up. So either during the gap or as Asia opens up, you might see a move back down here to fill that. Interesting there. Did take a little scalp long. I probably need to peel some profit on that here already. Yeah, probably should. Let's go do that really quickly. What other platform did I do this on? Nope. This one, nope. This one, nope. This one was the only one. All right. Cool. Let me check these comments. This guy did. Richard says he did short at those other ones. Yeah. I know you did. I know you did. Oh boy, I know he did. Rudo, thank you, sir. Let's see here. Also tomorrow, 4 p.m. All right, so tomorrow. All right, so a quick heads up about tomorrow. Today's stream, we're running this a little later than usual. Typically, this runs at 2 p.m. on Wednesdays, and then tomorrow, looks like Cade has a podcast scheduled for about 4:50 Eastern. So we're gonna probably open this one up a little earlier tomorrow. Then is what we'll do. So tomorrow, instead of 4 p.m., yeah, we'll probably open this one up sometime after like 3:30, a little bit after 3:30. We'll probably jump on here, open this up a little early. That'll give enough time for us to go through whatever we need to go through, and then also for Cade and the rest of the team to not be rushing through that. So just a quick little heads up there. Too bad you can't share pictures here. I'll do an update post on Later Traders Telegram from my post in 20 days ago. Cool, man. I mean, you can't put pictures here in the chat, but you can leave them as a comment below the post of the actual stream. So just like on the feed, if you go to the Wolf profile page, you can drop a picture there. But yeah, very cool, man. Very, very, very cool. Congrats, dude. That's sweet. That is a sweet, sweet trade. Very, very nice trade. All right, let's see here. ETH is getting a nice little bounce too, huh? How's ETH BTC doing? Let's go check on ETH BTC. Is it going to try and go higher from this area? Not quite convinced yet. It's not quite convinced that it needs to make a move yet. So ETH BTC is still chilling. ETH USD is ETH USD actually. Look at ETH. It's actually got a higher low. Interesting. Trying to put in a higher low on Ethereum. What does Litecoin? Litecoin did a lower low. XRP did a lower low. Okay, but Ethereum did a higher low. Interesting. Salami. Let's go look at Solana. Solana's currently looking strong, guys. Yesterday we said we were looking for Sol to sweep this level to the downside. That may be it, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I think we had drawn it out. Nope. Although once we said it would come sweep and then get above and then continue higher. So this is, I would say, if we're applying this is currently that move. This is currently that move. We want to see it reclaim the low. So this for Solana is the low from Feb, same as like the 60K low for BTC. This is that low there. Look, I mean, Sol, that's looking pretty good, guys. That's looking pretty good. I probably need to go take a Solana position here if it gets that daily close above. So here in the next 3 hours, if it nails that, I probably need to be looking to position here on Solana at around that level. This will go here below the low for now. And then I'm going to target up here. I'm going to target these highs. We'll TP into some levels on the way up. But to me, that's looking like this might be setting up something like that for Solana. I'm probably going to play that as long as we get that daily close above. What is that level from Feb? 67.50. Yeah, give me 67.50 on a daily close, and I will take a position on Salami. I will take a long position on Sol. BNB, we talked about this yesterday as well. I mean, we've been talking about it basically all week. But there's the sweep. We said BNB would sweep the low of Feb. Same thing. Take out all of these. They can close back above that. I think BNB is also looking okay. Aster did sweep that low here. We'll need to dig into that one a little bit more. Librify is not doing anything. Ondo, I think Ondo still probably likely comes down. Did take out the low of last week. Yeah, I mean, we'll dig into this one maybe tonight on the streams that I typically do in the evenings. We can dig into that one a little bit more. But look, BTC, guys, it's catching a nice little bounce. Catching a nice little rally here on the lower time frames. Away from that low. The other thing is there's a lot of people that down here, right? A lot of people that down here, even I would even say even anywhere in the 60s, anywhere below 70K, there's a lot of people that below 70K were just turning uber bearish. Uber bearish. They weren't bearish enough up here. You know, they weren't bearish enough above 70. They were really bearish below 70K. That's always, you know, you can't really trade that per se, but it is, you know, it's something worth paying attention to. A lot of folks got really bearish down here. A lot of folks, a lot of them. You typically see that type of extreme behavior near pivots, right? Like just like you get max bullishness up here at swing highs, you get max bearishness at swing lows. You know, there may be something there. ETH, let's dig into ETH a little bit more here. Let's see. I mean, that monthly candle on Ethereum is nasty. Nasty monthly candle. Quarterly, hey, ETH closed the quarter above 1747. You know, it's got 6 days. If it can close above that, then I do think it probably has a little bit of upside. Has a little bit of upside, at least probably to sweep this current month's high. So at least up above 2K again. And then if it fails up there, 2K, 2100, you know, it may resume heading lower again. But I would think there's probably a little bit of a pop there for Ethereum. So yeah, I mean, I'm not ruling out a move up here to back into the upper 60s, lower 70s for BTC. I know high time frame doesn't really show it, Like I'm speculating a little bit here, but I could see it. I could totally see it. Mm, 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 mm. Shorting Bitcoin. Some people just don't like to short Bitcoin. Look, I think if you have a trading bag, Bitcoin's a phenomenal asset to trade. If you have capital set aside specifically to trade, right? Then what does it matter if you're trading currencies, if you're trading stocks, if you're trading commodities, or if you're trading Bitcoin? What does it matter? If the purpose of that money is not investment, if the purpose of that money is to trade and to generate capital and profits from that money, then yeah, why wouldn't you trade BTC? It's a fantastic chart to trade. It's very clean, respects levels. Why not? Why not? If trading BTC can allow you to be a more profitable trader versus trading equities versus trading something else, then go for it. Go for it. You should trade whatever improves your output, whatever that is. Some people like trading gold. Some people like trading NQ. Go trade whatever you like. Go trade whatever helps you trade better, whatever helps you win more. There's a lot of stigma around, ooh, no, you shouldn't trade this. Why? But usually it's the investors, right? They're thinking that a lot of that confusion comes from investors thinking, oh, you're going to fumble your investment bags. And I think that's a distinction that needs to be made is, people that are buying and holding are buying and holding. I don't think they're sitting there trying to trade their long-term bags. But there's people that have capital set aside specifically to trade in the markets. And if they don't trade Bitcoin, they're going to go trade NQ, or they're going to go trade gold, or they're going to go trade oil, or they're going to go trade Nvidia. They're going to go trade something. If they can make more money and if they have a better read on Bitcoin, why wouldn't they do it? Why would they not do it? Oh man, I'm liking the way these charts are painting right now, ladies and gentlemen. Sweeps, but we're not getting the closes so far. It is a little bit early still, but I just can't help but be short-term bullish here. I can't help but be short-term bullish. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm seeing it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's see if SpaceX can get a little bit of a bouncy bounce today. Still a lot of time left, though. A lot of time remaining here. This can probably chop up a little bit more. We'll see what happens when it comes back into this area here later tonight. We'll see what happens, especially if this keeps pushing up. This keeps kind of walking up without much of a pullback. What it's likely to do is actually probably just range here. It's likely to do something like this. And then at some point, maybe come down, try and do that if it wants to go higher. We'll see. This would happen. Well, this would probably need to be a little bit more like that, probably. Because you'd probably see that dump sometime over here during UK to US. Anyways, something along those lines at some point, if it's going to go higher. If it's going to go higher. All right, I see Archer. I see your chart now. It's higher probability to have a temporary low in BTC. Yep. So could have a range and take out at least 60. Yep. Agreed there. Your expectation is 10 to 20% move for the upside. I don't think we will go over 74. Yeah, it's 74 is kind of like the upper limit of where I'm looking. I'm searching for a hedge long right now. Hey, good on you. Now look, we're aligned. I think we're perfectly aligned in that take. Believe it or not. I believe we are perfectly aligned. And it's exactly what I've been saying. And look, I was giving the bulls the opportunity to find a bounce slightly above where we are now, right? I was looking somewhere like in the 62 to 64 area. Didn't give it, so the next area to sweep was to come down here and take these lows. You know, and this move could have gone, 57. It could have gone somewhere like that, and then still had a nice little pickup. The key is the closing above that 60K. If you protect that 60K, that's that to me uh, keeps me like short term bullish. So I'd like to see a move up. I agree. I don't think that 67 high is gonna stick. I think we see a move higher. Last month low is at 72. There was a very interesting 3-day range high right here at about like 60. What was it at? 67, 68. Somewhere around there. Hold on, let's see here. 67.5. 67.5 was the top of that 3-day range. So look, this is worth revisiting. This is worth revisiting here. Okay. This is worth revisiting on the 3-day. This is very interesting here. So Bitcoin has a tendency here, and I'll go to the weekly just to illustrate this. Can we do it on the daily though? Nah, it's better. It works better on the weekly. Okay. You guys have seen this multiple times if you've been on these streams. Bitcoin has a tendency to form a larger range on a daily, weekly, something like that, monthly, and then it gets a bunch of internal structure, just a bunch of inside bars that don't take the low, don't take the high for a while, right? It just builds this like internal liquidity, and then it moves out and grabs external. So you had liquidity above that high. It went out, it grabbed it, and then it goes all the way across the range, right? So everything is inside, inside, inside. Goes as soon as it goes outside, it traps, and it goes all the way across. You saw the same thing up here. Okay, we saw the same thing up here. Same thing. Builds a range here. Uh-oh. Hold on here. There we go. Hold on, let me fix this. There we go. Forms a big candle range. Nothing but internal structure. Finally sweeps one side of that range, of that larger range, and then it goes all the way across. Right? It did that there. You had a similar thing up here as well. Very similar thing right here as well. You can zoom into lower time frames to see it, but same thing. Built a range, internal, swept it, went across. Okay. Now, with that in mind, the reason we're bringing that up, with that in mind, if we go back into, what was it, the 3-day? Yeah. Okay. You had this range here, and we were watching it on the move up. It got so close, but it did not take the high of the range. It did not take it. It has now moved and taken the low of the range ever so slightly. I mean, it's, here the low was 59,130. Here the low was 59,102. So just slightly below it. But still, it's a touch of one side of the range. Could you still have another candle that's coming that needs to come and take it in a more pronounced way? Probably. I mean, I think it's possible, right? You could have one more move that really comes outside of this range first and then goes back across. Certainly could be the case. But these candle ranges, they're pretty interesting. Anytime you form these candle ranges, they are very, very interesting. I had seen a similar. Ooh, that's good looking structure there. That is very nice looking structure there. I like that on that 4-hour chart for BTC. Yeah, that is pretty. That is very, very pretty. Send that shit higher. Man, that's looking good, guys. That's looking really nice. Very, very nice. Look at that. Yeah. Very, very good looking move. I like that. And again, what happened down here? People just got super. Right now, what you're doing is you're going for all the late shorts. A lot of it has already been taken, right? A lot of all of this here has already been stopped out or taken, this liquidity from here, right? But there was a lot of people that also just max shorted down here. Max short, piled in big time down here. It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But it happens. It happens all the time. Yeah, and there's just so many people that are just flipped, like just so bearish on BTC. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Yo, congrats to Camel Finance. He just hit 40K YouTube subs. Hey, congrats, man. Big congrats. Mm, 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 mm. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, what else? Nah, nothing to cover there. Others, BTC. I mean, this chart still looks really good on the high time frames. On the super high time frame like this, it still looks really healthy. What do we have? Six days, 4 hours left. The only thing that we probably need to be careful of here. Oh, I already have it marked out. Okay, so I do have it marked out. The only thing we need to be careful of here is if we can't get back above that last 6 month high here for others, this may still need to correct a little bit deeper. May need to have a deeper correction here. Again, I think this lower structure probably holds, but it may need to come down a little bit more as opposed to just kind of consolidating here and then pushing higher. But it's trying to bounce. It is trying. Probably needs another good sweep, though. That or it's going to need an impulsive move to the upside to convince me. But a sweep lower and then a reclaim of that last month high would have me paying attention here. BNB is below the low that we're watching. Solana's holding it. Both of these are well below it, but we'll watch those. There's still some time left in the day. Ethereum has a lot of work to do still to get back up there, but it's moving. It's moving. I think the risk right now and what we probably need to watch for ETH currently is a sweep of this last 4 hour candle high here. Which happens to be there you go. Happens to be your previous day low. There you go. This is your previous day low. Let's use this one. We'll just relabel it. There you go. This is the level to watch for ETH going into the daily close today. If it doesn't get above it before the close of the day, new daily candle will probably come up and do a sweep. If it can't close above that, new daily candle will probably go up, take it, and then maybe head lower. You know, there's maybe the potential it can come up here, but we'll see. Lower time frame, this definitely looks like something I'd be watching for that and then seeing what happens. Could it sweep that low? Maybe. Yeah, definitely could. If you're bearish, you're looking for some kind of failure above that. Yeah, I like this so far. Looking good. So far, looking good. Yo, what's up, Ash? Still having to use phone to interact. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, dude. I don't know if they're gonna fix it or not, man. But yo, what do you think of that bounce, dude? This bounce on Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a bounce here. Like it's not earth-shattering volume. You know, it's still generally declining volume, but it's trying. It's trying to move away. The biggest thing for me And you're probably tired of hearing this, Ash, right? But it's just look at that beautiful respecting here of that last quarter low. I mean, look at that. Like it just that's the level, man. That's the level for BTC is at 60K. Until we get some like significant closes below that, dude. This thing can sweep it all day long, but it's just not closing below that 60K. It just is not. I'd love another shot at 60, 68, to 72, somewhere up there. I would love another shot at that. Stablecoin dominance, same thing. It just cannot close above that Feb high, that last quarter high. Sol gave us the sweep that we talked about yesterday and the day before. Took out that low. Again, I mean, I think a move higher here could play out. I do think a move higher here could play out. You could potentially have. I don't know that I want to draw it on the daily. Hold on here. Here, we'll put up my squiggle for now. We'll put up this as well for now. But could you actually be doing something like that, maybe? I'd probably put it off of this high here. I don't know that I'd grab that first one. I mean, it's not that it matters. It's not a huge difference, but you could even grab it off of that one, off that red wick to the upside. But let's just go here in the middle. Grabbing this close, that close there. Okay. Yeah, and then look, Sol actually did a really, really good job. Yeah, so we were talking about this in like multiple different ways. Hold on here. Yeah, that was another way we talked about it. There it is. All right. This is still essentially that like W with a pullback, but just on a larger scale. What it actually is this, right? So instead of like how I had it a little more granular, like you're kind of getting this. So. And same thing, even Sol, right? Holding above February low. So your last quarter low on Solana is holding. We get a daily close above that. I mean, that looks pretty good to me, man. If we get that daily close above that last quarter low, I'm probably going to take that position. I'm probably going to take that position and see if we can't get it up here to these highs. Heavy TPing along the way, but yeah, see if there can't be a little runner position that comes up a bit. Again, macro trend, like just for everyone listening, macro trend still looks like crap, but doesn't mean there's not bounces along the way, especially at a level like this. It's been tested multiple times. I've only got 2 impulsive moves. I still agree with that. BTC, all that's only 2, but classic H pattern on the 4-hour. Yeah, no, look, I agree. I agree very, very much. Very much agree with your take. And I also only count two impulsive moves. But again, this 60K area, she's a fighter, man. This 60K here, putting up a heck of a fight. Same for Sol. This level here, she's been defending it pretty good. So we'll see. ETH was looking interesting. I can't remember on what time frame. Even though it might come up and reject like this, we were looking at Ethereum. ETH put in so far ETH is like trying to put in a higher low here. Right? Boom, boom. I mean, and the beauty of all of these, right? It doesn't matter what chart you're looking at, is that it has clean structure in that you have a low, high of the bounce, and then you've got another low, whether it's a higher low, equal low, or lower low. You have a new low that's formed today, and you now have clear criteria for a move higher. It's like you start even this little shoulder here, you start moving above this, you need to start paying attention, because if this thing is putting in a low here and it starts ripping above some of this stuff, yeah, you need to be watching, for the potential that the next move we get is a higher low, and something else is maybe happening here again. And then this could flag out here, right? It could flag out here, ultimately still does something like that. But you could get a bit of a flag here as opposed to just being an H. So I would say the same thing with BTC, right? I think everyone's looking at this thing to just roll over from here. And I'm just kind of thinking, like, what if, what if you're doing this? What if this needs to go there and then needs to do something like this for a little while longer, and finally you do something like that? I don't know. But yeah, here you've got two very clear. 1, 2, very nice. There could be another one. There could be one more. To the upside, you only got two. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that you got three, but Ash, I don't know. I'm curious to your thoughts. Like, I almost count this as like on the way up, you had one, and then you had two on the higher time frame, and then now you've got one, and you've got two. I don't know if that means anything to you in your framework, but I really only would count this as two, like myself. I don't know that I would want to do like three like this. Yeah, I'd probably just consider that all like one big move up. One, and then another one here. If you go to the 1 hour, yeah, none of this is really impulsive. This is all super corrective, but still, if we're counting that. And then here, even in this, like I don't know if this is like super impulsive, but this little bit here is nice. This bit here is nice. Yeah, let's see here. Let's zoom into this stuff here. Yeah, this is nice here. I like this. Like, this here's nice. This here is nice. Is there one more maybe that's coming, right? So could there be another one, I don't know, that comes like down here? Maybe. And then that completes the larger third, maybe. Not sure, man. Not sure. I wish I paid attention in drop level class, and I just didn't. Check the trading group. That's what you see right now on the 1 hour. Let me go look. Move above 63.4 is needed to regain a bullish structure. Yep. This kind of stuff helps. Yep. Yeah, I would even say, even if we get some acceptance above the low of last week, even then I'm already paying attention, right? getting above previous day low, previous week low. I'm paying attention. And then you got confirmation on a move above that little fake out move before the dump. So like I could see that. So here, let's go to the chart. What would that look like here for you guys that aren't looking at the tweets? So let me activate previous week, previous day. Okay. So main thing I'm looking for, of course, you guys know, like on high time frame, the 60K levels, like the biggest level I'm watching. But even if this chops around here, here, we even had that little drawing somewhere. Like even if it's doing something like this, where it's kind of chopping around, then at some point comes back down, and at some point tonight, tomorrow, whenever, chops around, comes back, fills this inefficiency from the pump today, and then it starts to head back above previous day low, previous week low here. Like it starts coming up here. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. Like your confirmation isn't really until you get a move above here, right? You get above here, and then you've now changed structure there, and you can now comfortably look for, an opportunity at a higher low. But even just getting above these levels here, to me, has me paying attention. Just reclaiming that, just because of all this structure, right? So even getting back above that, I'm paying attention. Obviously, there's a risk of like a fake out above that. So I don't mean just the move above that alone. I mean looking for closes, looking for structure consolidation above this level, right? Looking for acceptance above that level. I'm paying attention. Now in the short term, again, I think you could see this. I think you could see something like this, that this does something similar to this, right? Like that. You could see that it just kind of chops, ranges, does a whole mess of this right here, right? Something like that. Uh-oh, didn't mean to move that. And then at some point, you get a nice clean up to the downside, right? And then it tries to go higher. Whether that happens, during like one session, or whether, it'd probably be healthier if you see it through the overnight, right? Like you see this happen, the whole chopping and the bottoming all happening here going into US Open. But, we'll see it. We'll see how it plays out here. But we still don't really have like, you really want to see this volume really take a turn. It's still not quite there yet. Oh, you got a picture in there. Hold on. All right, let me check. Hold on here. Oh yeah, okay. I gotcha. Interesting. You sneaky little Aussie. You sneaky little Aussie. Yeah, I mean that would be okay. I mean, like, look, that's in line with a failure to reclaim this, right? That's in line with like this coming up into here and then failing to come above this. So that's fine, right? Either we're gonna see that this thing has some strength to get back and reclaim here and then take a shot at this high here, or we're going to see that it's got weakness going into this, and then that sends us lower, right? So, but yeah, okay. So that makes me feel good that we're both kind of looking at the same area. This is going to be kind of an area to watch on the way up here, for sure. They broke last week's low with high volume. Yep. Yeah, was not a good look for sure, man. I was hoping we could get a bounce here. It was not a good look. I ended up cutting the long trade that I jumped into the long trade a little ahead of time, but I was hoping to get a bounce and then size it up, and it just did not. It just did not bounce. So I cut it. Said, nope, we're cutting it because this thing is heading lower. So I managed to save a little bit of downside there on that move. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm open to whatever, but I think, and this is just like the natural contrarian in me, but it's like when everyone's super bearish, I'm like, ooh, what's the possibility of a bounce here? What's the possibility that we can maybe go higher? You know, I like that. Cool, guys. Well, look, we're at about an hour. I'm gonna keep it pretty tight today, so we're gonna call it there. I'll probably be back later tonight. I'm not sure if it'll be before or after the Mexico game because Mexico's playing in the World Cup tonight, and I want to watch that game. Maybe after. But I'll jump back online with you guys. We'll look at what the chart looks like after the day closes, after Asia comes online, all that stuff. So we'll go do that. That'll be on my personal page. And then we'll be back here tomorrow on Wolf Bitcoin for another one of these sessions. Again, normally on Thursdays, we would do it at 4 p.m. Eastern. We're probably going to open it up closer to about 3:30, 3:45, because we do have to close about 10 minutes before 5. But yeah, that way we have a little bit more time, and I can give the other guys that are coming on a little bit of time to get set up in the studio and all of that. So tomorrow, right here on Wolf Bitcoin, about 3:30 or so, let's plan on jumping on. We'll pull up the charts. We'll see what's happening, and we'll cover all of that. So again, big shout out to Public. You can check them out, public.com/wolf, for sponsoring these sessions and these shows. Go take a look at their platform and support the people that are supporting us. And with that, I am gonna call it here, guys. I appreciate y'all. We're keeping it nice and tight today, but we'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll have a lot more to talk about tomorrow. Once we let some of this heat from today cool off a little bit. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next stream. Peace.